Hey guys, let's answer question number 1. Rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form and then graph. So if you look at this equation carefully, when we graph lines, we usually graph them in slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. Well, in y equals mx plus b, y is by itself, right? But if you look carefully at this equation here, the y is not by itself. This is called standard form. So before we can graph, eventually in algebra you learn how to graph in standard form, but we want to get this y by itself before so we can get it ready to graph. So I want to isolate y. So I'm going to draw my line down my equals, just so I remember whatever I do to one side I have to do to the other. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 3x, and I want to get rid of the whole thing. So it's a positive 3x. To get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 3x, right? And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation. Okay, so 3 minus 3, 3x minus 3x it cancels out, right? So I'm left with the 3y over here. Now, I can't do 9 minus 3x. The 3 has an x and the 9 does not. They're not like terms. So I'm just going to bring the negative 3x down. I want that to go first because I want it to look like y equals mx plus b. The x goes first. So I'm going to bring the negative 3x down, and I'm going to bring the positive 9 down. Now, if I wanted to bring the whole 3y to the other side, I would subtract the whole 3y, but I don't want that to happen. I only want to get rid of the 3. Remember, this is 3 times y, right? To undo 3 times y, I know to get rid of that 3, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Because 3 divided by 3 is a 1y, or just a y, right? So when I divide by 3, it cancels out. And I'm dividing the whole thing by 3. So I got to do both numbers divided by 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1x. And 9 divided by 3, well, that's positive 3. So now you'll notice I'm in slope-intercept form, right? Y equals mx plus b. I want that slope to be a fraction, so I'm going to add my 1 underneath. So this is ready to graph, right? So my y-intercept is positive 3. I know that my line's going to cross the y-axis at positive 3. So I'm going to put my first dot there. And then my slope is telling me to go down 1 and right 1. So down 1, right 1. And I'm going to follow that pattern until I run out of room. I know it's a lot of dots, but they're easy to make, right? Once I run out of room, I know I'm going to go back to where I started, and I'm going to do the opposite. Instead of going down 1, right 1, I'm going to go up 1 and left 1. And I'm going to do that until I run out of room going the other way. So I'm going to draw my line. My line's going to look something like that. So before you can graph, you need to make sure that it's in slope-intercept form, right? This line's linear, and it's going down. It has a negative slope. All right, I hope that was helpful.